Welcome to Let's Save on a Teacher's Salary. My name is Asanda and I've been permanently employed in the Eastern Cape since May 2023 at the age of 34, going on 35, and now I am 36. So BizTech, I combined BizTech for doing this article. They are comparing what is happening with the staff at Parliament with the increase that is happening. So if you don't know, Parliament, the unions of the staff at Parliament have been fighting for the workers at Parliament to get increases from the time they worked for contractors to being absorbed permanently and then gradually getting increases. So these increases are set to happen up until a point where they actually earn more than teachers. So this is where BizTech comes in, comparing the two. The way BizTech is comparing it is the increases that the teachers should have had when you compare to inflation never happened. And now when you look at this happening, is it fair or whatever? That's what they're going with it. But they're not saying that Parliament employees shouldn't get this. They're saying the teacher salary should actually have been higher at this time. Okay, if you look at inflation, so the salaries, even though there were some increases, these increases never kept up with inflation. And considering, the profession, the skills you need to be a teacher and everything, I also agree with BizTech. But I'm going to warn you, if you're going to come emotional and you're going to be classing people, I am not going to have a conversation with this. We're not talking about class. We're talking about what is happening. So, the comparison. So we're going to talk about the numbers, like how much they're going to end up earning, the Parliament, and how much teachers earn. And this is on the internet. I will also give you the link and you can go and read the article yourself. Reading is good. I enjoy reading articles, and unlike books, I prefer reading articles. I enjoy them. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I'm also thinking of subscribing, it's just supporting these news outlets that I read. I do subscribe to Netflix. Why am I not subscribing to news outlets that I read all the time? So here's the thing. When it comes to Parliament, I think it was very high risk from the beginning to use contractors for employees working inside Parliament, because those people, cleaners, the waiters, the cooks, everybody, the administrators, the bookkeepers, you name them, whoever they're talking about, they work in close proximity with high profile seats, with high profile titles. I'm not going to say high profile people, because politicians allegedly are up to some shady, the most shadiest people, allegedly. The most shadiest people you will ever have. Like, no. Integrity and politicians just don't mix. So we're going to talk about the positions. So the people who work at Parliament, not politicians, not elected, they work in close proximity with very high profile titles, very critical, what is the word I'm looking for? Very sensitive titles, very sensitive positions, right? So to a point where a person working there would be able to infiltrate and poison a certain Parliament member. So we need to get to a point where these people are paid fairly, fairly, decent middle class incomes that lowers the opportunity for them to be infiltrated, to be bought, right? But I feel like if they're going to give these salaries, they also need to provide financial literacy, because giving somebody a lot of money and they can't manage it is pointless. They're still going to be desperate for money. I'm telling you, there are people who earn 50,000 rand, there are people who earn 60, 70, 80,000 rand a month, and they're still desperate for money because they don't manage it well. And they're looking at a person who earns 20,000 rand and envious because they're not managing their own money well. That's why I always say, manage your money and you will see. You'll stop caring what other people have. It won't matter. It won't matter that a person is whooshing past you in a Mercedes. It doesn't matter. it can whoosh as many times as it does. So I'm saying it is important that the people who work at Parliament, which I hope they do get a security clearance, earn somewhat lower middle class incomes, because they are in such close proximity with high profile titles that they can be infiltrated. We need them to not be starving, to not be desperate. That way they don't get infiltrated. Remember, these are humans. Okay, so BizTech comparing that to teachers, here's what they said. And you wouldn't believe me, I've been telling you, this teacher salary, guys, is Googleable. I've been telling you, I'm not giving you anything that's new. In 2019, an entry-level teacher earned 278,640 rands annually, equating to about 23,220 rands per month. And then by 2024, this figure had risen to 333,624 rand per year, or 27,802 rand per month, a 19.7% increase. So the teacher salary from 2019 up to 2024, that is 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, in 7 years, in a whole 7 years, the teacher salary increased by average of 19.7%, not beating the inflation. By the end of this rollout, the Parliament employees will earn between 170,000 rand to 340,000 rand. This ranges from teachers to chefs, right? So this is how much. This ranges from cleaners to chefs. So it would be 170,000 rand to 340,000 rand, 14,000 and 27,000. So that's what it's going to be between. So don't get personal. Don't get personal. Don't class. Okay. Also remember where these people work. You have to remember that these people work in Parliament, one of the most sensitive and most dangerous places to work at. It is dangerous. It is dangerous. The people who they attend to are targets. Okay. So except that it's South Africa, so it's not that dangerous. But if you think of it in general in the world, Parliament is one of the most dangerous places to work at, because they've got politicians there. And the worst thing about politicians is their positions are high profile and very dangerous. On top of that, a lot of them are allegedly criminals. So criminals are always wanted by criminals, and people are always dissatisfied by what politicians do, so they target from ordinary citizens as well. So you always end up being in the close proximity. Pay the kids, pay the cleaners, pay the janitors, pay the waiters, pay them, and pay them well, so that we as a country can have workers in Parliament who are less likely to be penetratable by these terrorists who are trying to destroy our country. Okay. Yeah, that's my thoughts. We can talk about it, but if you're gonna class people, I am not going to respond. If you're going to come at this with the negativity of and thinking that because you're a teacher, you deserve more than somebody cleaning at a Parliament, I'm not going to attend that. Let's talk about this in general. That yes, I like the approach of Business Tech, because they approach it in the matter that the teacher salary should have increased by now. It shouldn't be. It should be higher anyways. So the people at Parliament going into the salary, they shouldn't have reached them, because the teachers should have been earning more. That's what Business Tech is, and I agree with Business Tech. I am not saying my salary is not enough for me to survive. It is. Okay, there are people who are surviving with far less. I'm not saying it's not enough for me to survive. It is, but I'm saying in general, teachers should have been getting more by now, had the increases been fair in the first place. Okay, I'm going to end up there by also saying, before I go, teacher salaries are not a secret. They're paid by taxpayers' money, and therefore the public has the right to know how much they're paying their teachers, and minimum to maximum, not what is written on people's salary. But let me tell you something, the amount here is exactly what is on my payslip. And this is on the internet, on an article readily, freely available around the globe to be read. So I'm not sharing secrets. Well, most of the time.